AI me's been talking about data and analytics from the beginning, right? And he understands that the back end of this. I remember myself, AI me, PBO talking about this. I believe last year we had a in-depth conversation about data and all this other stuff of AI and cryptocurrencies and all this stuff, right? And new technology, emerging technologies. And we were talking about money, some aspects of it, and how there's going to be so many ways to make money leveraging technology. But think about this from this standpoint. There's a way to make money using outputs that you get from ChatGPT, but there's also a significant play in understanding how the technology works and how it feeds it, because you can be one of the people that feeds it or feeds some sort of a database, or gathering or creating a database, leveraging the algorithms to give people outputs that you want them to see. And that is a huge opportunity for you as well, too. And now I want to turn it to Brother PBO, because I want to ask him this question. He was at the barbecue. He brought it up. Why are people using this, man?
Well, we talked about this the last time I was on. The climbers, we're all in technology, right? So I think in our echo chamber, we think everybody's in the chat, into technology and the things that's going to leap you forward. Yep. Shout out to AI and me. He's talking about what is your data's worth, right? We always on that subject. He's got me thinking on that subject, but we're not there as a community, right? And really, I probably think, and I always say this, probably 70% of the general population is not there.
Right? Agreed.
So,
agreed.
Right. So we always put it on us because I think we always, but like I said the last time, it's a very few amount of people in tech, especially topping at this level, right? Probably 2 or 3% is really in there. You got Mr. Mix leading the way, you and me. This is a cabal of just knowledge. Most people ain't gonna never be there, right? So I go out in the community and I try to drop a little gems and hoping they're gonna find it, right? Because like you said, is my next step is, and I'm gonna work with AI and me, is I'm trying to train it to do cloud security doing GRC, because you can train it. Your searches, you can feed it back in there for your own session and training. Right. So the next level ChatGPT is, and I'm gonna throw back that to AI. If you were a SME and you got certain knowledge, they could pay you to train ChatGPT to handle a domain for itself. Like we talked about Watson. Watson is the artificial intelligence for medical domain. But what ChatGPT is, how it's going to make its money is when you start specializing. They said they got a professional version coming out that you're going to pay for, but your knowledge could be used to train it so they can make money, and you could probably get a piece of that, right? As the next level, making money in the bag, right? Because that's what you pay for, specialized domains, right? So you're a sales expert, you're a sales SME, so there's some things you can help it with sales. And shout out to you is sales at that level, what you selling is, but now I used to buy Oracle, used to be a salesman. Now I just go out to their website and click on what I need. Amazon's not going to talk to you unless you ordering over $5 million worth of services. If you ain't ordering over $5 million service, you got to go to self-serve on their website. Right? So once again, so salesman's not going to go well, but they got to upscale, because Amazon's like, oh, you under 5 million? Nah, player, we can't even talk to you. You wasting our time, man. Go to the self-service, little guy, and download what you need.
And so PBO, that's
you nailed it on the head.
You go ahead, AI me. Go ahead, AI me.
You nailed it on the head. It's soon it's going to be a specialized database knowledge. If you want something like, okay, I need help in understanding nursing, certain aspects of it, it's going to be a teacher soon. So if I want to teach nursing and I want to aspect of nursing, I create a chatbot that teaches you nursing throughout your whole nursing career. I'm not going to see a teacher. I'm just going to see a chatbot teaching me nursing each year, each time, because it has all that knowledge. It's going to be a teacher. You go to school, you're not going to see human teachers anymore. You're going to see a programmer you're going to see a chatbot teaching you how to be a nurse or teaching you how to do certain things. Mathematics doesn't change. Remember, mathematics doesn't change. It's not changed a million years. The application of mathematics changed, but the mathematics algorithms on that doesn't change. So a chatbot can teach you mathematics. And I could program a chatbot to teach you mathematics in certain grades. They would change it based on your personality, change it based on everything. So we can now personalize teaching to each individual based on data from you, from how the class is, from teachers. We can personalize teaching. And this is how it's going to be. This is how evolution is going to happen in terms of AI and all that. So again, soon you're not going to, when you go to PTA, you're going to be, instead of looking at talking to the teacher, you're going to be looking at analytics on how your students are. Real analytics, real time analytics. This is how much time your child will make noise in class. This is how much time. This is real time quantitative analytics. Your child was acting up 12 times in a day. Man, I'm gonna smack you 12 times in a day. So this is you see real time analytics. This time you can't be angry with analytics and numbers. You're like, your child has been jumping up, throwing and showing you pictures at the same time. We have camera footage and all that. This is your child acting a fool 12 times a day with pictures and all that. This is what teaching and AI will be. This is the future.
That's going to be good, though, because I think that's going to be very good for society, AI. I mean, when it comes down to now, well, there's also going to be a lot of, regulation around that, right? Because now you're talking about cameras being in school, things being fully recorded. That's what our and there's a whole privacy thing behind that as well too, right? And if you would want for that to happen, but you're right. I think it's the advancement of humans and teaching and quality and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the aspect of privacy, again, it won't matter because again, the whole data it will be cybersecurity protected and it will be accessed by only the teachers and the parents. So it's going to be protected. The data is protected and everything. It'll only be, and probably erased after it turns 16 and all that. So it's just a way to track the progress of the child quantifiably. So it's behaviorally and everything. And say, hey, this is your child. And also, this is what your child wants to do. He likes art today, tomorrow he likes math. This is where your child is going. And he show you quantifiably, this is what's going on. And this is what AI is. And this is how the ChatGPT is going to progress, teaching your kids, now training. If you're on board training and all that, ChatGPT will be training everybody in orientation, all that. You don't need humans to train you anymore. ChatGPT will be training you in your orientation, or you have training. ChatGPT is going to give you training. So this is how it's going to be. This is where it's going to be. So it's in many aspects, it's going to change. But again, nobody's talking about this. Nobody's going to tell you this. Nobody's ever going to, because again, what they're showing you is just what's the output, and that will be late. What I'm telling you is what's going to be, what everybody's doing right now. What people, not everybody, but what certain people are doing to stamp their profit margin. These are what people are thinking 10 steps ahead. But we're just thinking of what we're using now. And that's a problem.
What's up, Ladder Climbers? It's Antoine Wade. I wanted to interrupt this video to talk to you guys about Course Careers. Course Careers is the place that you guys need to go if you have a high interest into tech sales. They will help you gain the skills that you need so that you can enter the tech sales world to make a whole bunch of money. Tech sales salaries early on is about $60,000, guys. That's a good salary. And with OTEs, you can make anywhere from $85,000 to $90,000. If you have an interest in tech sales, check out Course Careers, link in the description. And don't forget to use Antoine50 so that you can get a $50 discount off of Course Careers. See you guys in tech sales.
PBO, weigh in, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's good. You know me, I got the good part. Let me get the good part. I agree with AI and me. I think we're going to get customized training. I think the trainer's going to figure out you tactical, you like questions, you like essays, you like multiple choice. And like you said, I think it's going to be personalized for you. The bad part about this, and I need everybody to listen up, is if you're in a community and you don't have tax dollars to support your school will be closed down because we can do all that on the internet, right? So there are going to be no more basketball teams and football teams. You're going to have to go out to the rich schools because they just figured out they lose billions of dollars on schools that can't support themselves because of the tax dollars, right? There's free lunches and black people, we use it as babysitters. I'm going to put that out. That's done. So they just showed you now. So if your tax base in the hood can't afford the school, you're gonna have a MOOC, which is millions of people in one classroom. And AI's right. Your kid's gonna be out there in the classroom. They just gonna mute you, and your kid ain't gonna learn today. So y'all better get rid of that. So that's the good part. Now PBO gonna give you the bad part because they gonna shut down all them schools. So if you can't afford it, you're right. You're gonna get the best customizations. You're gonna have the best professors on the planet. But if you ain't got no child care, you better get your remote job because your kid will not be going to school and get no free lunch. I'm done.
Yeah. This is part of efficiency. He's not lying. This is efficiency.
Well, check this out.
Again,
the point that PBO made. One second, AI. The point that PBO made, guys, is something that we talk about on this channel. You better get your skills and your money up because ultimately you're going to have to buy into these areas. If you, this is creating a level of separatation, or I didn't even know how to say it. Separation more than anything. This is when the haves really do haves and the have-nots don't have, right? And this is going to expand this even further. It was what I'm hearing PPO saying is, you know what? The money ain't there. The money isn't there. So now we have to customize what it is that we can afford. Now your kids are all online. They don't have that human-to-human interaction. And maybe that's a good thing in certain areas. I don't know. The only time was going to tell. But there's going to be a separation, a huge separation, if you don't have the money and the skills, because this is going to be one side. This is going to be another side. What side are you going to be on? The side that I want you guys to be on this, on the side that can afford it, because you have the education, the skills, the money, and so forth. You guys have to make a choice there. Go ahead, AI me.
And you following PBO, imagine what will happen in separation. Now I can quantify which kids are bad and which kids are good. Now I can separate them and say, okay, these good kids, I'm going to give them a real life teacher, while the bad kids, I'm just going to put them in front of a chat bot and they can act out. But the kids who are good, now when anybody comes in, I can quantify and say, hey, look, based on the grades, behavioral issues, and all that, quantifiably, you can see statistically, this is what's going on with them. And statistically, these good kids. And you can say, when you interact with both of them, the good kids' grades fell. You can show them statistically. Then you can say, you can prove that when separating them is better. So this is where it's going, where numbers will now be a huge factor in where your kids will be going. Numbers will tell a whole story of your kids. And this is how it is. Numbers, and then they can put real money value in terms of, oh, these are bad kids. We're not going to put that much of, we're not going to dedicate funds to these kids. They're going to be all right. So they're going to have slow computers running, all that good stuff. While the good kids, the bad kids have slow chat, the chatbot's going to be talking linguistics and using bad grammar, but the good kids, they have all the modern technologies, investments, all that. And they can say statistically, we can prove that these kids deserve it. So this is what's going on. And this is what's going to happen. And it's even being done in the real world with banks and all that, in terms of loans and all that. Who deserves a loan and all that, using risk analysis. They're going to be running risk analysis on your kids. You're not going to know it, but again, I'm just going to say, look at all the numbers. They're running risk analysis on your kids. Believe it. This is what it is. So no, really. Let's say this kid has been acting up since grade school, and we're seeing through a regression, it's not getting better. It's getting worse. We're not going to put money on this kid. There's a likelihood, based on all these numbers and all the variables we see, he's going to end up in jail. No, but this other kid, he's always, based on all these kids, you can see his regression analysis. You can see he's climbing up. He's going to be a leader. We're going to invest money in this. And when the government says this is why we're going to invest more money here, this is why, and they show you with numbers, you can't argue at that point.
Let's answer the super chat. Brother Rashad, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Great weekly knowledge, Brother Wade. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat.